What's up, gamers? I'm here in the human body and I'm looking for some cells to infect. Let's hope I don't run into any T cells though. Their immune response could really mess me up. I've heard rumors of some bacteria and other microorganisms getting messed up by their immune responses. Let's go.
But what is a pathogen, you might ask? A pathogen is an infectious agent that may cause a disease. Virus, bacteria, fungus, and other microorganisms are often pathogenic. For example, the influenza virus. Antigens are proteins that are found on the surface of a pathogen. Antigens are unique to that pathogen. The whooping cough bacterium, for example, will have different antigens on its surface from the TB bacterium. When an antigen enters the body, the immune system produces antibodies against it.
So came into work today expecting nice, peaceful, relaxing work day, and turns out these random weirdos, these antigens are just wreaking havoc everywhere. They're really messing up the style of the office, so probably gonna need to ask my boy, T-Cell, for some help getting rid of these people. They're not that friendly.
Hey guys, it's T-Cell here. So recently you guys have asked me what I do for a living, so I thought I'd give you guys an explanation. I actually made a quick animation for you guys to watch, so without further ado, enjoy. So here we are. Let's start at the very beginning. Before I even get to work, my good buddy, the inactivated dendritic cell, is working tirelessly to hunt pathogens trying to get into the body. Once he finds one, he'll engulf it and digest it. Then he'll identify specific antigens in the pathogen through pattern recognition receptors and present it to others, like a trophy reminding him of a job well done. By now, I've arrived to work and I'm just floating around in the lymph nodes. The macrophage has to travel all throughout the body to find me, the T-cell, that is specific to his presented antigen. If I recognize that antigen, then I get to work. After I have been activated, I start to rapidly reproduce, splitting myself into thousands of son and daughter cells. My children, swirling through the body, will differentiate and acquire different assignments. The first becomes cytotoxic, that is, toxic to cells. They will single out a body cell that has been taken over by the pathogen, and like a sniper, will precisely kill the infected cell. They can do this through two ways, through Granzyme killing or Fast L killing. In Granzyme killing, my children attach to infected cells and release perforin to poke little holes in them. They then release granzymes into the cell through the holes, causing the electron transport chain to be cleaved, which produces toxic reactive oxygen species. Sometimes caspase precursors will also be activated through the granzymes, causing the infected cell to kill itself. My cytotoxic children can also kill infected cells using the Fast ligand. The Fast ligand attaches to Fast receptors on affected cells, and like the caspase precursors, drive the infected cell to commit suicide. This may seem a bit brutal, so my other children will turn into suppressor cells. They do exactly what their name implies. They suppress the cytotoxic reaction once the infection has subsided, suggesting my cytotoxic children to take a chill pill by killing themselves. A bit morbid, I know, but it's all for the greater good. My third child type is known for its brains. It can memorize the antigen of the pathogen and will forever float through the body looking for future invaders that have the same antigen. They're the ones that I'm most proud of. And finally, the helper T cells. My helper children serve two purposes. One, they release cytokines like interleukins to promote the cytotoxic reactions. As such, they'll sometimes get in fights with their suppressor siblings. The helper cells also go over to their B cell buddies to notify them of the infection and start the humoral response. So that's a brief overview of my day-to-day responsibilities.
Where is that white blood cell? Oh, there he is.
Hey, how's it going on IP site?
What's up, my white blood cell?
I was told by the dendritic cell that there was a problem here. What's going on in this immune system?
Oh, I think there's some weirdos just hanging around the office today. We need to get rid of those people right now.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm changing into a cytotoxic T cell. I gotta help my helper T cell, suppressor T cell, and memory T cell brothers fight this immune response.
Oh, that sounds cool. How does it work?
I'm going to attach to an affected cell and release perforin to create pores in the cells. Then I'm going to release granzymes into the cell, causing one of two things. The electron transport chain will be cleaved, producing reactive oxygen species, which will kill the cell, or caspase precursors will be activated, causing apoptosis.
Dude, that's awesome. I usually just walk around the office, make sure that all I'm doing is just eating up all of the antigens that have been tagged with antibodies in a process called opsonization. I have some old college friends of mine that, they are called the macrophages. They do basically the same thing, but, they have their access key cards. They can go everywhere outside the circulatory system.
Some of those dudes are mast cells, which are responsible for inflammation by the release of certain chemicals such as histamine. They are also super friendly since they release cytokines that attract other immune cells. Phagocytes also hang around a set of triplets: neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. They're granulocytes, which are cells that have granules in them and kill antigens by using toxins in different manners. Lastly, that one kind of shady guy that phagocytes hang around is a natural killer cell. He kills some of the host cells, but only when they go insane from being infected from antigen.
Hey, is that a pathogen I see?
Digestive enzymes. Go!
When a pathogen enters the body, it gets engulfed by a phagocyte or macrophage. When this happens, the phagocyte or macrophage present the shape of the antigen on its surface. The helper T cell then senses the shape of the antigen and triggers both the humoral and cell-mediated immune response. The humoral response takes place in extracellular fluids and involves B cells, which we will get into later. And the cell-mediated response involves the activation of phagocytes and killer T cells. The helper T cells activate more phagocytes to engulf the pathogen, and they also activate killer T cells to kill cells that have already been infected with the pathogen. Next, we will go on to discuss the B cell's role in an immune response.
Hi everybody, Macrophage here. Now I know I like to talk about my own friends, the cells such as the killer T cells and the granulocytes, and good old me, myself, because, I'm so wonderful, but, I think some of our other friends in the innate immune system get a little bit left out, so let's go and talk about them today. You see, on this page with the scrapbook that I've compiled over the years, are the physical defenses, such as skin, eyelashes, ears, and saliva. Basically, what their job is that they will block out, or they will just straight up capture those evil antigens. See, skin is so large and bacteria is so small that basically it's just a huge wall to protect our body. As for the eyelashes and tears, not only do they capture and remove dust in those capturings, they can get rid of any bacteria that gets caught there. Saliva works the same way as tears. As I flip through my sketchbook, let's look at another part of the immune response. Good old inflammation caused by histamine. Histamine will basically dilate your blood vessels and will improve blood supply there, because blood supply will have all of those immune cells, like me, good old macrophage, and we'll handle the problem as the blood rushes to there. Oh, and in addition to the innate immune system and all of our wonderful cells, we have the complement response, which is supposed to go in conjunction with the regular old response. Here we have opsonization, in which antibodies mark the bacteria cell. Here we have cell lysis. These are for the gone cells. We don't talk about those anymore. Here's agglutination, which is usually used in conjunction with snot or saliva. It'll gather up all of the bacteria and then you can expel it at once. And last but certainly not least is chemitaxis, in which a nearby cell will send signals to a macrophage. Oh, that's me, by the way. And it will basically ask for me to respond and go eat up this little cell. Well, as I flip through the rest of my scrapbook, it appears that everything else is just about me, macrophage, because I'm so wonderful. And that's it for today.
Hey guys, so I'm a B cell, really glad that the helper T cell activated me, so now I can finally proliferate. About time. I'm about to turn into a plasma cell and a memory B cell, and I'll vlog the whole way for you guys. And my plasma cells are going to help me out and make some antibodies to neutralize the pathogen. And my memory B cells are going to remember everything about the pathogen and create a binding site for it, in case of future contractions, of course. So nice of my main girl, Mem B. Couldn't do this without her. Next, we're gonna flag this pathogen with an antibody. Let's do it. Look, it's the pathogen. Sneak up, put a recognition sight on him.
Stop! Those recognition factors are gonna give me away.
Well, it was gonna happen one way or another. If my body would have gotten a vaccine, my memory B cells would have been prepared and killed you a lot faster. I would have already known what you looked like.
Let's look at how vaccines work. Vaccines help develop immunity by imitating an infection. This type of infection, however, does not cause illness, but it does cause the immune system to produce T lymphocytes and antibodies. Sometimes, after getting a vaccine, the imitation infection can cause minor symptoms, such as fever. Some minor symptoms are normal and should be expected as the body builds immunity. Once the imitation infection goes away, the body is left with a supply of memory T lymphocytes as well as B lymphocytes that will remember how to fight that disease in the future. However, it typically takes a few weeks for the body to produce T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes after vaccination. Therefore, it is possible that a person who is infected with the disease just before or just after vaccination could develop symptoms and get a disease, because the vaccine has not had enough time to produce that protection. But if it weren't for your meddling autoimmune response, I would have gotten away with it too. Let's just hope you don't get lupus or something.
Lupus is an autoimmune disease that would turn the body's own white blood cells against healthy somatic cells. This autoimmune disease would have made it way easier for the pathogen to take over.
Welcome back, gamers. I'm back from beyond the grave. Like this video if you enjoyed it, comment down below, and smash that subscribe button. We'll have a new video coming out every Monday, so make sure you keep up.
What's up, my piece of my butt?
Well, cells, white blood cells. How do you say white blood cells?
Yeah.
Okay, no, hold on.
Cut that out, don't worry.
Just cut it out.
Okay.
Bye.